Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It's June 21st, 2019, and prices of BTC are currently at yearly highs at 9,808. We could see price reaching towards the top of this beautiful ascending channel that we're seeing right now. We're on the 4-hour chart, so I would expect somewhere around 9,900 if we just have a wick just poking out of here. This might be the overextension of the price, and then I think prices will probably cool down, at the very least come to the middle of the channel, move sideways, and maybe to the bottom of the channel again around 95, 9600 or so. Okay, let's check out the RSI and see how it looks on the 4-hour time frame. As you can see, it is in the overbought territory. Okay, let me show you guys a bit more clearly over here. Here it is coming up in the overbought territory. Another thing that I find interesting is, whenever price hits in the overbought territory on the 4-hour, you do see a bit of a pullback, back into the neutral area, right around 60 points or 50 points right here, and then, climbs back up. Okay, so if we sort of, get this RSI like this, all right, the bigger support on the RSI is probably something like this block right here. Okay, you can see, this area become resistance. This area was right here as resistance, and then when it flips support right here, then you see prices taking off higher and higher over here, right? And so now, recently when it bounced off support right here, again in that same block, okay, it's climbing back up higher into the overbought territory. So when prices, you could say, when prices do start to pull back a little bit more, watch this area carefully. Okay, watch the RSI of the 4-hour pull back into this area, and then you can figure out, if that is another opportunity for you to get back in. Okay, but typically, folks, if you are a trader in this market, you do not need to go for the tops and the bottoms. All right, what you're really chasing is the meat of the move, which is really the middle, 40 to 60% of the move. All right, so for example, if markets are, basically trending between, let me give you a perfect example. Okay, say BTC bounces off this support right here, and you see the next area as resistance. Okay, you can obviously, buy support, sell resistance, right? But say for example, prices sort of broke out of here. Okay, prices went from up here and they climbed all the way down here, and then they resumed their climb back up like this, hit this resistance area, move sideways, but then it just kept on moving up, right? I'm sure this has happened to you quite a few times. Okay, it is okay for you to, buy in when the price hit this area. When the price went back a little bit lower, you could have just either doubled down, or you could have waited, and then price climbed up and up and up, and then you saw this area as resistance, and then you sold right here, but then price kept on moving up. Okay, you need to be able to develop some systems for yourself to understand why exactly you're buying in certain areas and why you're selling them. Okay, if you just see every asset as quote unquote cheap or expensive just because of their price, you're missing the entire underlying premise of the game, that is trading. Okay, trading is about, no matter what the price is, no matter where you're getting in, if the technicals look good, okay, if the technicals look very sound, that is a better reason to get into an asset to be able to buy or sell. Okay, if you think that price looks too overextended, all the indicators are overbought, the MACD has already hit all-time highs, everything is just looking too bullish, that might be your reason to short. Okay, you don't need to think that price is going to go higher and higher. You just need the statistical probability to be able to, know that, okay, if I have at least three reasons, three indicators, three resistance areas that are telling me that this area is just too hard to get through, that might be your reason to short. Okay. Same thing with support, right? If you have multiple areas of confluence, whether it's fibs, whether it's, rising channels like this, whether it's overbought territories like this might be an area to start taking profit on. Okay. It doesn't matter if prices are going to go up higher. Okay. So you're probably wondering, okay, so is he trying to say that we need to take profit here? No, what I'm trying to say is that in this parallel channel, is it worth it for you to, did you buy down here and then are you selling up here and then waiting to rebuy down here? Or are you a person who's trying to hodl BTC or hodl some of these other coins and you want to just, ride them up for the next, big wave of the bull market? Because if that's the kind of investor or trader that you are, then selling here doesn't make any sense. Okay. But if you're really, trying to become a trader, like we trade in our community, you can essentially take some profit in this area because it's a little bit overextended in this channel, and then wait for prices to pull back a little bit when this area also gets tapped on the RSI, and then rebuy back in when the technicals look good. Okay. So that's sort of my explanation of, being able to understand and differentiate between price and the value of technicals. All right. And when you need to figure out when to sell, when to take profit, when to short versus long, etc. Okay. Develop a game plan for yourself, folks. Okay. On the daily chart, here's the daily. Okay. So contrary to my 4-hour chart right here, right? On the daily, we see that we have a bit more room to go on the daily chart. Okay. So we could see that this top trend line right here touches this point right here multiple times and this point right here multiple times. So this has been really a big trading range, okay? A trading range or a parallel channel that BTC has sort of been moving into like this, okay? And now it's trying to extend that trading range a bit higher and extend that parallel channel a bit more wider. The top of this parallel channel, say for example, if it just hit today, if prices just skyrocketed today, okay, and if we're following the previous, sort of extension of the previous top of the channel hit, right, this would come to about 10,150, 10,300 max, that little range right there. So that might be an area that you may want to consider taking profit in as well, okay? So this is why you have to understand, when to be able to look at different time frames. Like the 4-hour says the top is going to be around 9,800 or so, or 9,900, but the daily says that this top could potentially go all the way to 10,200 or so. Okay, there's nothing wrong with taking profits at 9,900, which is the top of this channel, because you saw that the 4-hour RSI is already coming into an overextended, overbought territory, right? Let's see how the daily RSI looks. Okay, here's the daily RSI. All right, remember I said a few days ago, if you watched my analysis, that this is the marker that you want to see price get past, okay? Because when we hit this area right here, okay, this right here coordinates with this RSI level right there. All right, so if you have a higher high in price, okay, so this is your higher high in price, all right, and you have a lower high, say for example, the RSI flips right now and it starts going down like this, okay, that would imply a bearish divergence, okay? Although I don't think it's going to happen because prices still have a lot of room to go. The 4-hour RSI is still not tapped out, and the daily RSI is actually printing something really unique, which is also applicable in this market. It is a inverse head and shoulders pattern, as you can see. The right shoulder is not perfect, but it's very close enough. And this target will definitely, take us up towards these previous highs right here, if it does truly break out. The neckline of the breakout is probably, this marker right here around 72 to 73. Okay, so keep an eye on this daily RSI, because if that does play out, prices are definitely going to go, into that mid 10,000 territory. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, I've stated over and over again that if prices were able to get past this region right here around 8,800, really the next big target was 9,600 and all the way into $11,800. Okay, let me pull up that chart to show you guys what I mean. Okay, I was talking about this chart. Okay, and here's the weekly on it. All right, this is what I was meaning. Okay, so if price closes above this level, 9,800, we've essentially broken past this, the closing of these candles right here back in April 2018. The next, high level between that is all the way up into 11,700, as you can see right here. Okay, 11,600, all the way to a high of 11,800 or so. Beyond that, the next target is 13,100, and then after that, really the all-time highs of the market around $19,300 or so. Okay, so now that we've sort of breached into this white box, which is the real meat of the resistance, we may have some pullbacks, guys, and that doesn't mean that prices are going to just fall or anything. It just means that there may be some slight sideways movement here, up, and then pull back a little bit, and then push up even further. Okay, if we start drawing the Elliott wave counts like I did over here, okay, you can see that my fifth wave extends, as you can see, all the way into the top of the box right around 11,700. Okay, so if we just pull that out somewhere over here, you can see we're hitting that, almost on our path to getting to there. Okay, in the middle of this is also something really interesting to watch. Let me sort of zoom into this. Something else that I found interesting was, here's point 1 right there, point 2 right there, point 3, and point 4 right there. Okay, 4 different points on the daily chart. Okay, remember we're on the daily chart. This is a Bitstamp exchange. I think most exchanges had this rising wedge right here, where we actually did break out of this rising wedge a couple days ago, or maybe like a good 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then we went all the way down to $7,600, 7,400s on the wicks, where things just look pretty bleak, and then started taking off again. Right, you could see that this rising trend line that you're seeing right now, price is meeting that almost perfectly again. Okay, this is another reason, if you think that, okay, this might be the extended top that we're seeing in BTC, I have now enough confluence to think that 4 hours overextended in that rising parallel channel. The RSI is overbought or coming into overbought. Price is hitting this trend line right here on the daily. Let me just take some profit here. Okay, this might be another reason for you to be able to take some profit and step out of the market and wait for things to cool down a little bit more. Okay, so what I'm trying to explain is, if you're trying to become a trader, you're going to have to make tough decisions like this, where you see multiple indicators, horizontals, trend lines giving you confluence, saying that we are overextended, we're hitting critical resistance levels, trend lines, fib levels, and so I'm going to take some profit, and then I'm just going to let the market sort of cool off and give me a better signal later on. Okay, so these are tough decisions that you have to sort of make in markets like this, guys. All right, another thing that I want to talk about is the Ether chart. Ether is looking really great. I've been waiting for Ether for a while, but now patience does pay off, guys, and it definitely is paying off right now. Here's the thing about Ether. Okay, Ether has been trading in this, sort of broadening wedge, parallel channel, however you want to look at it, for almost a month now. Okay, over a month now. Okay, because it started off in May 15th. We're on June 21st now. You can see that Ether is coming very close to the top of this, big broadening wedge or trading range, and that comes close to about $294 all the way to about $300. Okay, so if you want to take profit in this area, it also might be wise. All right. So I will personally be taking profit on most of my positions as I see BTC get a little bit overextended. I'm getting pretty close to that, $10,200 target. We're also getting very close to that RSI that I showed you on the daily chart right here, where it's getting, closer and closer into that overbought territory. I don't know if I want to, go off the idea that this may reach a little bit farther. So I'm letting you know, my plans of what I'm thinking about doing, okay? So I hope that helps. With that being said, we have an amazing community, guys, where everything that I say goes on in any of these channels for our Advantage members. Our Advantage members get, these locked channels where there's tons and tons of information. This is where really the meat of the conversation happens. Every single morning, I post up my analysis. People from all over the world are here. People from China, people from New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, Amsterdam, Norway, South America. People from America and Canada as well. Okay, so people from India, people from all over the world. Okay, so don't feel like this is mostly an American time zone channel. There's tons of conversation happening. As you can see in my 2 a.m. Right here, there's a ton of chit chatter going on, and you can jump in on this. Okay, you can learn, you can figure out how to trade, you can ask questions. All right, figure out what you are meant to do in this market. Okay, all right. Ether, like I said, looks very good on this chart. I want to see Ether's RSI too, because I think it should have a lot of room to go. Let's see. I guess not a whole lot, it seems, but enough. Here's the RSI on Ether as well. It looks like a sort of tilted, inverse head and shoulders on this too. I do expect Ether to climb back into that overbought territory at some point. By then, Ether might, sort of hit the top of this channel right here, or it might go even a little bit wider. This red box right here actually comes from this previous chop that we had. So let me sort of zoom out. There's a lot of chop that happened here and in this region right here back in 2017, October, November, and then over here in August 2018. Okay, usually when you have chop like this, where this was previous resistance, then it became support. This area was then tested as resistance, as you can see right there. So the top of this this little trading range that we had will probably be resistance as well, right around 315 all the way to 325. All right, so that might be another area for you to keep an eye on if you want to take some profits on Ethereum. Okay. I hope you guys don't take this as investment advice. I have to say this in every single video to be legally compliant with the U.S. Securities laws. All right. It is strange that we have all these, laws in the U.S., but I do think that they are meant for protecting the average retail investor. Here's LTC. All right. LTC is also sort of looking like it's in a very interesting formation right here. Actually, I don't know if it's quite breaking out or it has broken out, but I'm gonna sort of draw it up like this. Okay, I'm gonna draw it up like that and something like that. Okay, I would say that this is still going through its middle symmetrical triangle. I guess I wouldn't really call this a rising wedge or anything, because it's not rising. It's really just moving sideways in a symmetrical triangle. Even LTC on the 4-hour chart actually has a lot of room for growth. So I could totally see LTC, breaking out and potentially going to the top of this channel. The only thing that worries me is the fact that BTC is sort of getting to the top, and LTC has already been so far overextended that if BTC comes down, okay, LTC will come down even farther. Okay, it'll be aggressively deeper in terms of its price action when it moves down. So when you're trading, guys, one of my main rules that I follow is always look at BTC. See how price is doing in BTC. Has it been oversold? And then how do alts coordinate with that? Have alts already been rallying and they're already too overextended? So when BTC is coming out of oversold and it wants to climb back up, it will use basically the fuel from alts to climb up. Okay, so there's different relationships that altcoins have with BTC, and I've sort of explained this a bit in terms of the dominance chart right here. Where'd it go? Oh yeah, let me pull this out on the 3-day right here. Okay, I'm gonna draw this as a line chart. Here's sort of the the relationship between Bitcoin dominance right here, okay, where if it keeps climbing, alts are going to see a lot of capitulation in their BTC value. But if BTC dominance goes down, that doesn't, by the way, Bitcoin dominance going down doesn't mean the price has to head down. Okay, I think that's a misconception that people had. I know someone asked me a question about that. It just means that price can really just hover sideways. Say for example, if we spent the next 2 or 3 weeks just sideways in this 98 to 10,000 area, okay, obviously this dominance will probably move sideways or potentially go down, because most people do not like lack of volatility. Traders don't like that. Bots and algos are not designed for that. They like volatility. They like to seek opportunities in potential price action movement. So if BTC is just moving sideways, the market cap, or I'm sorry, the dominance is going to go down. And then that means that you may have a alt season, because then this dominance right here, which is the altcoin dominance, okay, this is the others.d, which is the others dominance, market cap will then go up, right? It's already sitting at critical levels, okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if BTC sort of cools off a little bit, but if it keeps going up, guys, it's going to be really scary for these altcoins. Okay, this is going to be that altcoin graveyard, as you can see. All right, so definitely keep that in mind. But I do think that alts are slowly going to start seeing movement, because even Ethereum, like I showed you guys that chart earlier, has essentially been moving kind of sideways for a little while. It's been about a good month or so of just sideways movement. It hasn't really broken out like Bitcoin has. And Ethereum is technically an altcoin, okay? So you can see that when Ethereum starts popping off, I think the rest of the alt space will probably try to follow. But remember that Ethereum needs to break out of this trading range first to be able to give you, some, I don't know, signals of promise that other altcoins have hope to. But if it just gets stopped out right at the top of this channel, it has a high probability to come down to the bottom area right here around 240s, 250s or something, in these markers right here. Okay, so just something to keep an eye on. But for now, it seems like BTC has definitely been king. It has been king. It looks like it will be king for a while. All right. Another thing that I wanted to show you is this chart right here. Here's my daily sort of pitchfork that I've drawn. As you can see, okay, the median of the pitchfork, by the way, is right this black line right here. All right, and you can see every time we've come close to hitting that median, price has gotten rejected. Okay, you can see every time, one touch right there, two touches right there. The top of this median currently lies right around 10,500, and if we catch it in the next couple days, it might go all the way to 10,800 or 900. Okay, so if we hit the top of this medium, that might be another area you could consider taking profits on, because historically, at least for the last month or so, we've hit this area and then pulled back down. So with that being said, when it does hit this top, it likes to come down all the way to this light blue line, which is the 0.5 fib, or all the way down towards this pink line right here, which is the 0.75 fib. So if it hits the top today, 10,500, and then pulls back down over the next couple of days, that might be somewhere around 9,100 at the very low, or this blue right here around 95 to 9,600. All right. Okay. There's another chart that I wanted to show. This is a larger pitchfork. All right. This one is a bit different because it encompasses the historical movement of Bitcoin starting from all the way down here in August 2015, and the top right here in 2017 bull market, the December, and then this December top or bottom right here at 3.1K. Okay, so currently on the weekly chart, we're actually struggling to get over the pink fib, which is the 0.75 fib right now. Okay, back here it actually got rejected by the 0.75 fib and then came back down right into this middle territory and then bounced back up again. So if we're aiming for that next fib right here, which is the purple, the 0.618, again, that currently lies around, if you went up straight up on the weekly chart, around 11,700 all the way to about 12,200 in the next week or two. Okay, so keep an eye on something like this, and you can draw this yourself, guys. Grab the pitchfork right here. Okay, catch the first point at this bottom right there, and then the top right there, and then the bottom right there. I want to make sure that you guys learn exactly how these tools are drawn, how to draw these parallel channels, because it'll ultimately help you when you do come join our Cryptosomniac community, because we talk a lot about technicals. If you want to learn how to trade, we talk about that. If you want to learn how to understand to take profits, why to take profits, where, you will know that you're not just sort of willy-nilly, pulling the trigger at any random place. Okay. I hope this video has sort of, helped you understand why we do the things the way we do. Here's the ZEC trade that I put up yesterday, something that I was getting into. Let's see. Where is Zcash? ZEC, USD, this one right here. Okay, here it is. All right. So I stated that, I wanted to have Zcash come down here in this gold block. All right. The reason being that this area was previously resistance, as you can see, and then finally it broke on through. I want to see this area get tested as support. Okay. Usually in strong technicals where price has, instead of moving in a very parabolic fashion, it moves on a very sound fundamental and technicals basis. It likes to go back to previous levels, test them as support, and then keep on moving up. Okay, that's a very positive sign from price action to be able to do that. And if it does do that right here, okay, that might be an area that I will be getting into. All right, and I already stated that in our Cryptosomniac community. There's a lot of other trades, folks, that I put up that I take, and I talk about when I'm taking profit, what my open positions are. Everything is out in the open. Okay, I am not like your other crypto Twitter, other paid groups. We have everything out in the open, exactly what we're doing, where I'm thinking about taking profits, what even our current P&L is. As you can see, we got into BTC at 83.50. And don't think, by the way, that we just started trading this market just a couple days ago. We've been trading this for a while, folks. You can see all the way over here We've been trading this market, taking profits. We've been essentially making some good money in this market. All right, let's just keep it at that. And then currently, obviously you can see we're a good 12-13% up in Ethereum, 1% up in LTC, 11.4% up in BCH, 12% up in, 9% up in EOS. So, 17% up in BTC, and even my medium terms are looking good, right? So you can see right here that, all of this is in the open. So you don't have to keep asking questions of, what exactly should I get into? How are people trading? Everything is visible right here. So we make it very easy for you to see exactly what we're trading. And even over here, I mentioned what kind of chart I'm looking at. Here's an XMR chart that I mentioned a few days ago, or actually yesterday, I guess. And I was aiming for the targets of 107 and 120, and then beyond that, further targets of 150 and 160. Okay. I just talked about XMR was breaking out of this area right here when it was 99. Let's see how XMR is doing now. Okay. So you guys can see this live in action, folks. You can see exactly how we trade. You can see, what we look at, why we look at certain things the way we do, and what our targets are. Okay. So here's XMR USDT. Maybe this is the wrong chart. Let's see. No, it's somewhere over here. XMR USDT. Okay, there it is. So here's that, that chart that I was looking at. Okay, this is the ascending triangle that was being created. We were thinking about getting in right around, $98, $99, and you can see that by this timestamp right here. Okay, 99.94. This was created 2 days ago, June 19th. Right around 6 p.m. Pacific time. But now you can see prices exploded all the way towards 109. Okay, so people who took that trade already hit that first target of 105 that I stated earlier. So that's a 9% gain, and then the next target is all the way up here at the 120 marker, which is a 24% gain. All right, so you can see, guys, that we do this stuff every single day. So if you're not making the kind of success that you wish you were making in your paid community, or you trading on your own, really think to yourself that, is it worth to keep consistently losing money in the market, or to not understand what you're doing? Or do you want to come join the Cryptosomniac community right here? All right. And once you hit this products page right here, all right, it's very simple. You just $97 per month that you can make up with just 1 or 2 trades, and then you can make the rest for your profits. Okay, again, nothing that we provide is financial advice, but we provide enough information and data to be able to allow you to pull the trigger on your trades. Okay, so I hope that sort of convinces you why you need to join a community like ours, where we communicate a lot. We have a ton of Bitcoin analysis every single day with multiple updates through the day. I put up these videos, as you can see, every single day for you guys in the general public, because I want to help you understand what's happening in the market. Okay, but a lot of my attention and my time and my updates go towards my Cryptosomniac community right here. You can see, we have a ton of information right here in the medium term channels, long term, open positions, short term. Okay, we have a stock market chat channel. We have Forex chat, all kinds of cool stuff, guys. So I hope you do come join our community, and that about wraps it up, folks. I don't think I have anything else that I want to talk about. We've covered, the weekly chart, some targets where I'm going to be taking profits, and where exactly price could reach up to almost 10,200, 10,400 on the daily, and maybe even 11,700 all the way to 12.5 on the weekly, as per that pitchfork I showed you. All right, well, that's it, folks. I hope you enjoy this analysis. Please do give me a thumbs up. It does take a lot of time and effort to make these videos, join the Cryptosomniac community. There should also be a free Discord link at the bottom of this description of the video. So do come join, and that's it. Cheers.